Hi and welcome to a quick unboxing mail drop video. It's 10 and I've just received a package through the post. I always get tempted to say package for some reason through the post. So here it is from Amazon. God bless you, Amazon. You always seem to deliver when you say you're going to deliver, and I can think of some other companies that don't do anything like that. But anyway, let's take a look and see what has dropped through the mail this morning. I know what's in here, and I'm very pleased to be getting these two titles in my collection. They are two titles that I would highly recommend anybody getting. I have a lot of history with one of them, and the first one is the Criterion edition of John Waters' amazing comedy Female Trouble. Now this is the day of release, 1974, colour, because the previous film before that, Multiple Maniacs, was in black and white. And it is it's an 18, and it's, from what I remember, because I have got this on DVD, although I haven't watched it for a little bit because I was waiting for the Blu-ray. I was actually going to go and get the American Blu-ray of this Criterion, but with seeing it coming in on Region B, I thought I can't wait to get it here because I can upgrade it on my 4K player. So it's obviously, it's a 4K digital restoration, so no doubt it will be stunning, as I can really trust Criterion to release some great versions of their titles, and I don't think they'll get one and you think this was a bit substandard. You do pay more, but you will get more. So I'd imagine in there will be a booklet of some description. Now, unfortunately, my tool that I use to get this open is over there underneath. It's not accessible, so I'm going to have to see if I can do this quickly, and I know for a fact that I won't be able to do it quickly, because what happens when you want these things to come off, you'd be easier. What they should do is they should make planes out of this stuff, because some of them are indestructible when you come to get the cellophane off. So there you go, lovely package, lovely cover as well, and there you go. Got a nice booklet in there, nice thick booklet, as you do with Criterion, that they don't pull any punches when it comes to or they don't cut any corners when it comes to releasing a really good version of their movies. Now, I don't know if any of you do this, but I know that I do this all the time. It drives my wife mad, but I do have to do this. I don't know why I do that, but I do like to assess what's in the box smell wise, because if you get a really good printed booklet in there, they can sometimes smell fantastic, and you can get a little bit high off them. So anyway, so that's 1974's John Waters film Female Trouble, starring Divine, who is amazing in this, as she is in all of her films, and also it's got his bunch of motley crew that is in this film as well. So the second film I've got is the amazing release of Death Ship. This for me is one of my favourite films of all time. I saw this at the Pictures on release. I've got a big history with this film. I saw it 4 times in a row at the Pictures for the whole week. I used to go down to my cinema at the bottom of my street, and I could go in there on a Monday, cheap rate, and if I liked the film, I would watch it. I would go back, I would go and get the £1.50 that you needed to get back into the cinema, and I would go for the rest of the week, every night of the week, to see this film, because it would probably be gone by the next week. And this is the brand new special edition from Nucleus Films. Now, I did used to have the Scorpion film, Scorpion's Films releasing American Blu-ray, which was a multi-region Blu-ray. It was a nice Blu-ray, but they did an upgrade on their release. I didn't get that one because I knew that this one was going to be coming out. So what I did was I went and sold all my other version of it. I did have a DVD of it as well, and this finally has got a UK release. Now, this is, I'm going to say that they've got, it's the one with, it's got improved picture quality. It's got 5.1 surround sound, and it's supposed to look the best this will ever look, and I think it's got some extra little bits in it. It's got some behind the scenes. It's got all. It's like a good special edition. But I've got to admit, and this cover on this film is just when you were walking past this at the bottom of the street, that cinema that was there used to show all the movie that were coming on, and you saw this one, you would think, there it is. There, I've got to see that film. It's not your usual poor movie things that you have this today. Movie pictures, posters. Sorry, I'm blanking on posters. Never mind. I'm probably just starting to say that I've got this film. Now, I don't imagine it to be no slipcovers with these films. There was no slipcovers in the mix. Don't think Criterion ever do slipcovers, if I'm honest, which is fair enough. That keeps them uniform. I don't mind that. So I don't know what you're going to get with this, but I do know that this is probably the best version out there at the moment, because I can put this on my region, my 4K region, 4K Blu-ray player, and I can upscale it a little touch. So for that reason, I was really glad to get this version. That's why I maybe held off on the US version. Yep, no booklet, just disc art. Doesn't matter. I'm just really glad to have this film on the shelf, and it's a lovely. I love that font on the that's going to look on the shelf there. But this is one of my favourite films of all time. I've got a lot of nostalgia with this film, and I can't get enough of it. And it ticks all the boxes for me. I love films about ships for some reason, sinking ships, ghost ships. Although I didn't like the film Ghost Ship, I thought it was very poor. But you know, horses for courses and all that. A lot of extras on this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to my 4K player, which is nestled over there, and I'm going to have a bit of a mooch through these, and I'll come back to you and tell you what I thought of the picture quality on both films, maybe give you a little bit more of a rundown on the extras as well. So I'll see you in 2. Okay, so I'm back from watching those with my glasses so I can read out what is actually on these discs. So I forgot to say that the Female Trouble is spine number 929. Now this has been previously released in America, but obviously this is the first time it's been released in the UK. And I've checked it out, and the picture quality, it is grainy, but I don't mind, because I would imagine that's what it was filmed like. It's a very low budget film, and I don't think for 1 minute it was made. It would have definitely been on, I would imagine, 16mm print. But seeing apart, it looks really good. It's just got a 1-channel soundtrack, mono soundtrack, which I would imagine that's the way it was. The soundtrack on here is really good though. The songs on here are brilliant, as are on all of John Waters' films. He does really know his stuff. A bit like Quentin Tarantino, he knows about some obscure songs to put behind the film. So this is a brand new 4K digital restoration supervised by John Waters, and you get an uncompressed monaural soundtrack. So you get an audio commentary from 2004 featuring Waters, a new conversation between Waters and critic Dennis Lim, new and archival interviews with cast and crew members Mink Stole, Pat Moran, Vincent Peranio, Susan Lowe, Marion Vivian Pierce, Hilary Taylor and Van Smith, interviewed from 1975 featuring Waters and cast members Divine, Stoll, Mink Stole and David Lockery. Deleted scenes and alternative takes, exclusive behind the scenes documentary footage of Steve Yeager, plus an essay by critic Ed Halter. It's 97 minutes and it's in a 1:66 aspect ratio, and its glamour has never been more grotesque than in Female Trouble, which injects the Hollywood melodrama with anarchic decadence. So yes, it looks really good. I think it's about Divine plays a character who's a spoiled brat who goes out in the wild and becomes, well, trouble with a capital T. And the early films of John Waters are very, they are near to the knuckle and they do shock. But to be honest, that's if you know you're getting into something that's really bad taste and really offensive on purpose, then you'll have a really good time with it. And I do urge you to check out John Waters films anyway, but this is the brand new release from Criterion in the UK, and it looks pretty good. And here's the booklet from there, and it's got pictures from the movie. There he is, Divine, looking how he can always do. He can always look like trash, but in a good way, if that's even a thing. And yeah, it's just if you don't know John Waters and Divine's work, you do need to check it out, because it's really good, and it's well worth a watch. So there you go. So that's the booklet that goes with it. So the other thing that I got, obviously, was Death Ship. So I've just checked that out, and it looks absolutely stunning. I've seen this film a few times on a few different releases. Now this Nucleus version, I've put these both on my 4K player, so maybe the grain looks a little bit heightened on my 4K player than it does on a normal Blu-ray player, but I don't mind that. If it's film like that, I'm all right with that. I don't mind grain. Now this here looks really stunning. It's got a 5.1 sound. You can tell it's a pretty wide soundscape, and also I've checked out a few key scenes that that I know would look good, because it used to look good on the other Scorpion release, and the exterior scenes on the boat, and also in the early stages when they're all sitting down to dinner with their garish clothes on and fancy dress. The colours look really pop, and also the clarity of the skin clarity in that. I'm not going to say it's a 4K, of course it's not, but you can just see that on a 4K player you could be a little bit tricked into thinking you were watching a bit like a 4K disc, a bit. But also this is a great movie, and it was originally a TV movie, and I remember seeing it, and I didn't know that at the time, but looking back on it, you can kind of half tell it was a TV movie, although I never saw it on TV. I think it was just a thing that was like something you used to see in America, you know, on American TV. You might know the cinema, but it come over here in a cinema release, and it's been a cult classic. And there's just quite a few TV movies that are cult classics, and I don't mean that they're a slight. Salem's Lot was a TV movie. Night of the Scarecrow was a TV movie, and they're all good. So yeah, and on this you get your 5.1 surround audio and original mono audio, isolated music score, which I've never understood an isolated music score, but never mind. A commentary, and you get actually, is it two commentaries or just one? You get Stormy Seas Redo, Voyage from Bloodstar to Death Ship, and that's 43 minutes long. I've just checked out a little bit of that, and that looks really good. You get 3 trailer reels, and you get featuring the theatrical works of director Alvin Rakoff, 25 minutes, and co-writer Jack Hill, 29 minutes, and producer Harold Greenberg, 24 minutes. And Bloodstar selected pages from Jack Hill's original script, and it's so, like I say, to recap on this one, it is a stunning presentation of this movie, and I love this movie, and I can't big up it enough. I know that if you're a fan, you're a fan, and if you've got any other versions of this movie, just put them on one side, because for me this is the definitive version of this movie, because it's region free as well, if that appeals to you. And if you're an American and you want to maybe get this version, it might be slightly different to the US version on Scorpion, or they have done the upgraded version, which I imagine this is from the same negatives. And so yes, so there is my 2 purchases for today, coming on day of release from Amazon, and I can highly recommend both of them. You will not be disappointed. So thanks for listening, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take it easy.